Hello and welcome to this Bio43 pre-lab video. This will be about keeping a lab notebook. We'll be keeping electronic notebooks using Benchling. Setting up a Benchling account is quick and easy. Go to benchling.com/signup/welcome. Enter your email address and click Continue. Then enter your name and choose a username and password. Next click Create Account. You'll receive an email to confirm your email address. Click Verify Account. Then there are just a couple more questions. Indicate that you work in academia. You can skip building the rest of your profile, and you don't need to join any labs, so you can just click Create or join one later. You can choose to look at a sample notebook entry and go through Benchling's Explore the Notebook tool. But we're going to build our own example with just the parts that are relevant to this course. The button for creating a new document is this plus sign on the left-hand toolbar. There are lots of things we can create with Benchling, but to create a notebook, just choose Entry and Blank Entry. Name it Bio43 Lab Notebook -your name, and click Create. Now we're ready to start building our notebook entry. Today's date has already been added, so first thing we need is a title. This should be more descriptive than just something like Cell Biology Week 1. In previous videos, we've talked about comparing tetrahymena from the lab and fake lake. We can use that as our example here. So we'll title this entry, Effect of Tetrahymena Source on Cell Size. Benchling will automatically generate a table of contents for us if we set the headings properly. To do so, highlight the text and click on the drop-down menu with the H. For the title, choose Header 1. Now we'll go to the introduction. For the section titles, Introduction, Methods, Results, and Discussion, use subheader 1. The introduction should be pretty brief, just a couple sentences. One should be the question or hypothesis we're testing. Most weeks this will be a hypothesis. The other sentence should be a rationale. Why are we interested in this hypothesis? For all the text within the introduction, methods, results, and discussion, choose the heading Paragraph. Next we have the methods. Remember to set to subheader 1. Most of what you'll do in the lab will be described in a file from the lab manual. Rather than write that all out here, simply indicate that you use the lab manual and upload the file. To upload a file, go to the Insert drop-down and choose Attachment. Note, there is a nearby option for Add Protocol, but this is just for special Benchling protocols that we won't be using. Once you've gone to Insert, Attachment, a box will appear in the notebook entry. Simply drag and drop the lab manual file into that box, and you're set. However, oftentimes you won't follow a protocol exactly. Either you'll be instructed to do something different, or a mistake will happen. Just describe those deviations from the lab manual below the attachment. Between the lab manual and your notes here, someone should be able to perfectly replicate what you did in lab. Sometimes the lab manual will also specifically tell you to make note of something about the protocol. Include that here as well. Then comes the results. First you'll want to include observations. Sometimes the manual will instruct you to make certain observations, and sometimes something odd may just catch your attention. Noting such things here can help you understand unexpected results later on. You can add images like photographs and drawings here by going to Insert, Attachment, as you did for the procedure. And you can add figure captions next to the images. The raw data you collect will often be in the form of tables. To add a table, go to Insert, Table, and you can select the number of rows and columns for your table. Rows and columns can be added and deleted as you go, so don't worry about getting this perfect right away. You can rename the table and customize it as you like. I usually like to center everything and merge certain cells for clarity, but that's strictly a personal preference. The main thing is that someone viewing your notebook can immediately understand your data and what values correspond to what treatment. Combined class data will often be kept in a Google Sheet. Rather than copying that large data table into your notebook, you can just link to it. Highlight the text you want to link, choose this link button here, paste in the URL to the Google Sheet, and click Save. Now you can go directly to the class datasheet. You'll typically end up processing your data and making graphs using Excel. That Excel file can be added to your notebook just like with other types of files by going to Insert, Attachment, and dragging and dropping. Most weeks, you'll also include the results of a statistical test here, but we'll talk more about statistics next time. The last section is the discussion. Like the introduction, this should be pretty brief. You should evaluate your question or hypothesis in light of the data you've collected. Is your hypothesis supported or not? And you should look toward the future. What are the next steps you'd like to take? Not just how you could repeat the experiment to reduce the effect of error, but what topic would be an interesting follow-up. And that's your entry. If you set the headings appropriately, a table of contents will already be generated for you. Simply hover over the right-hand part of the entry and you'll see it. You can click on a given heading and be taken directly to that part. When you're ready to submit your notebook, click the blue Share button in the upper right. Make sure link sharing is set to On, copy the link, and submit it in whatever way your instructor indicates. You'll only need to do this once because future entries will be added to the same document. Next time you have a lab with a notebook assignment, go to Insert and choose New Day. If the new day it adds doesn't have the correct date, you can click on the date and change it to the right one. Then you're ready to add your new entry. Finally, remember to follow all cleanup instructions, since that is also a part of your notebook grade. That will do it for this video on lab notebooks. See you next time!